Hello, and welcome to Beering in Mind Beer Reviews. Today we are going to look at another in a series of beers from Shiga Kogen Brewery, and this is the fifth one. We've looked at several others. If you look at the past series of videos, we looked at, for example, their Pale Ale as a first beer here. So go back and look at some of the others if you're interested. This is one of the better breweries in Japan, and they're located in the northern part of Nagano Prefecture, which is in central part of eastern Japan. But if you look out from Tokyo, you'll see one prefecture does not have any access to the sea. It's a very mountainous area, and that is Nagano. It was the site of the Winter Olympics many years ago. So it's a very snowy place. It's famous for winter sports and also for agriculture. Not so famous for beer, but it should be because some of the better breweries in Japan are located there, including Shiga Kogen. And today we're going to take a look at this beer by Shiga Kogen. It's called Indian Summer Saison. And this is a Saison, or farmhouse beer, at 7% and 50 IBU. On their website, they call it a Belgian IPA, and of course, in recent years, there's been some crossover from Saison to IPA sort of thing, so a lot of people do make it. One of my favorite breweries in Japan, Kyoto Brewing, makes a wonderful Belgian IPA. So we'll taste this and see which characteristic comes out more. And it may not really matter actually here, but it's classified as a Saison. Tamamura-Honten is the parent company for Shiga Kogen beer, and they are a sake brewer, and they've been brewing since 1805, so a very, very long time. And they got into beer in the early 2000s, and the head brewer and director is a man named Sato Ego, very nice fellow, and very quickly he became an excellent brewer. He's very highly regarded in Japan. And Shiga Kogen is also proud of using a lot of their own homegrown ingredients. They claim to use 20% of their own hops, and for some of their special beers, their Yamabushi series of Saisons, it's 100% of their own homegrown hops. They also sponsor a beer festival called Snow Monkey Beer Live every year, and a music and beer festival. And they have a tap room called Teppa Room, where you can sample their beers. They also have a restaurant and bar called the Farmhouse, just a short distance from the brewery. And they have a sake museum where you can learn about sake making and also buy a lot of their products here. So it's in Yamanouchi, which is the largest, the city close by is called Nakano City. Not Nagano, but Nakano. And from the capital, Nagano City, it's probably about an hour or so to get there, and by train. Now, so this beer is, again, 7%. It's called Indian Summer Saison, and the name comes from the term Indian summer, which means, of course, a kind of warm or even hot period during autumn. So after summer has passed and the autumn cool has come through, there's a short period of hot weather again, and that's called Indian summer in the United States. And so they put a lot of hops into this. Traditionally, Saisons are brewed in Belgium. They're brewed in winter for consumption during the hot summer months. So when the name Saison, it means season, of course, in French, and the season implied is definitely summer. So, but in this case, they put a lot of hops into it. And so the idea is that you can go all the way through the summer and still enjoy this in autumn. And actually, you can probably enjoy it any time of year. Right now it's February where I am, and Actually, it's February everywhere, but it's February and I think I can enjoy this just as much. On Rate Beer, this beer has a grand total of 74 ratings, an average score of 3.68 out of 5, and a percentile score of 90% for all beers and 87% for Saisons, which is a pretty high score. Let's give this a go, shall we? I've had this before, but it's been a while. Okay, so it pours out a very kind of lightly cloudy, sort of dull yellow, very thin white head, some small lacing here. So very clear to look through, but just a very slight bit of haze there. The aroma. Yeah, it's got a combination of sharp, stinky barnyard elements, kind of like the hops. The hops were grown on manure. Light, funky yeast note, and some citrus or citrus blossom. It's got a kind of a sweet and sour note, tart right away. In the mid palate, we get this kind of a small explosion of yeastiness. Maybe some light banana. Let's see if there's wheat. They don't specify that there's any wheat in it. Just malt and hops. There's a hint of tropical fruit coming through too. Primarily this is I'm going to say this is probably closer to IPA than Saison. It does have the Belgian characteristic for sure. Not quite as crisp as most Saisons, a little bit heavier, 7%, and a lot of hops for a Saison, 50 IBUs. So finish is kind of dry and yeasty. I can get that there in the back. So body is kind of medium. It's a little bit heavy for the style, I think. But this is very tasty. Very nice beer, very nice Saison. Once again, Shiga Kogen Indian Summer Saison. You may find this in department stores, perhaps in Tokyo. If you're in Nagano, you can find it much more easily. I found this in a 7-Eleven convenience store, not too far from the brewery. In any case, give it a go. Let me know what you think, and leave me a comment. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing a lot more beers. We're in the middle of a series of Shiga Kogen beers. I'm going to review 8 different regular Shiga Kogen beers and then 6 very limited or very special beers that they produce as well. That's it for today. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.